Welcome to Creative Shadows, a video series highlighting music, art, photography, and anything that people do to express their creativity. I am here today with my friend Ben Robinson, who's a woodworker. He makes things like bowls and pens and this sign. Ben, can you tell me what got you interested in woodworking?
Well, Craig, welcome to the shop. It's good to have you here tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Sure. Woodworking for me started years ago, and I can remember the time where I just wanted a lathe and do some kind of turning projects. So I ended up buying a very small tabletop type lathe, and I started making things. Just whether it was pepper grinders or pens or bowls, legs for furniture, just anything round that you could turn on a lathe. And I developed that and worked on that. I got a bigger lathe, made bigger parts, got into finishing a little bit with the lathe. And so there was always an avenue of new things to try in producing things out of wood in a lathe. So I still have the lathe. It's right there and behind us there. And then my interest changed a little bit, and I got into making cajones. So made a handful of those. Every time I made one, I got a little better.
Which you made one for me.
Yeah, you got a nice black one. Made many others for many cajones for other people, and they're still out there being used today. And really, that's the best part. I like to make things that are used.
So you made your own guitar. What inspired you to do that?
Every guitar player, every musician for that matter, in my opinion, they want to make their own instrument. If they have the ability and they think they can pull it off, they're going to want to do that. And I am no different. I play an acoustic guitar, and I'm not quite ready for the challenge of building an acoustic guitar yet. So I started with an electric. I think it's a little easier, and here's the result. Really, where the fun comes is making my own, in the sense of my own body shape, my own neck, my own logo. This is the Ben Robinson guitar, and being able to figure all those details out, getting something that looks good, plays good, sounds really good, and then being able to produce them consistently. A lot of challenges there, but I'm definitely making steps to do that.
Okay, I believe you told me you kind of based it on the Telecaster, but you still gave it its own style. Can you explain that?
Yeah, I mean the body is a Telecaster shape. I really didn't stray too much from that body shape. The neck obviously is my own. This neck style is different than what a Telecaster or Fender would have. The radius, the profile on the back, the radius on this side. I put my own little personal twist on those. But I as good as that is, I need to continue that process here on the body as well.
Okay. What challenges did you face while making this guitar?
Many. I think if I would have known all the difficulty that I would have had when I decided, hey, I'm going to build a guitar, I think it would have probably scared me away. Many difficulties and challenges to produce this. Just the geometry. It's compound shapes. There's radiuses. And there's nothing really square on it. And figuring all that out was certainly a task. The finishing, I still haven't quite figured the finishing out. I'm still working on that. A guitar, you wouldn't think, but you have to be very precise on positioning and scale lengths, and it's a precision instrument. And you have to learn how to be accurate in producing, and that was a challenge in itself.
I'm sure it was. I believe you mentioned the staining. Was there 3 or 4 different coats you had to do for that?
Yeah, staining is I learned so much about staining, and you can get so many colors out of just some. Think of the color wheel. And you've got all the different colors on the color wheel, and you can start blending them and create your own color. And I delved into that, and you want it to be a little darker, so you add a little more of this, or it's kind of too dark, so you add some other, and in that you just get this rich color that appeals to you, and that was fun in itself.
So I believe you mentioned something about the pickups. There's something unique about that. Can you explain that to me?
Yeah, Craig, a Telecaster, you go buy any Telecaster, it's going to have three switch or 3 tone settings. The first one is going to be just this neck pickup. The second one is going to be the bridge pickup, and then the middle position is going to put both of these in parallel. And you just get a fuller sound. The bridge is more bitey, it's more of a lead position. This is more of a rhythm position. And this guitar does that, but this switch, I found this switch, and it's a 6-way switch. So I have the 3 traditional Telecaster tones, but if I kick it up to this position here, and I put it to the forward position, it runs these 2 pickups in not in parallel, but in series. And what that does is it just gives a big fat tone. It's just a different sound. And if you use it in this middle position and this back position, these are out of phase. And what happens is some of the highs and some of the lows actually get clipped off. The sound's no longer there. So you get more of a middle tone that, is it bitey? Is it maybe a little thinner? But it's just a unique sound. And if you're in a band, you're playing, and you want to be heard, you're in a lead, and you really just want to ring out, these would be some pretty good positions that would help you do that. Cool. Some players will listen to it and be like, oh, what's this? And then there's other players that will really like it. So the big thing is 6 different tones, 1 guitar.
Okay. The first time you played it, what did that feel like?
Oh,
you plugged it in, you played it?
Craig, I was sitting right over here, and I got everything, and I got the intonation set right, I got the action set the way it was, and I've got this little El Cheapo amp that doesn't make anything sound good. And the first thing I noticed, I tuned it quietly because I didn't want to scare myself, but I turned it up and I just played the low E string, and the immediate thing that I noticed was the sustain. It held the note forever, and as soon as I heard that, I was like, this is going to be good.
I bet that was pretty satisfying.
It was almost emotional. I mean, all this work and all this effort. And then, I'm sitting here looking at it, and there's sound coming from it. Just incredible.
It's your baby.
It is.
You made it.
Yes.
It came from your heart and soul, and you put a lot of work into it,
Yes.
and I bet that's pretty satisfying.
Yeah, it was very.
So do you have any aspirations of trying to do this for a living, try to do it for a career, anything like that?
Yeah, Craig, I would certainly like to. I would definitely like to take this to the next level, to take it to the next step. And, part of that is buying some additional equipment. I can't make money doing it by hand. So, there's going to have to be some expenditure to get a good rate of production.
Sure. So when the time comes, you tell your wife that you're going to quit your job and do this full time. What is planning on you living with me for 3 or 4 months?
Might be good. I'll be in trouble for sure. Don't tell her that, by the way.
Oh, wait, she won't see this.
That's good.
I'm here today with my friend Kyle Tredell. Kyle and I have been playing in bands for 25 years. We've written a lot of songs together, performed out a lot, and Ben has invited him over to play his guitar and see what an experienced guitarist like Kyle thinks of it. So Kyle, can you play us a few things?
Sure. So this is kind of bluesy. I got the clean tone on in the middle position. So. It's real easy to play, and the tone is just real clean. So, awesome. Congratulations! Yeah. It's a really cool. It's a great guitar.
Good job, Ben.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for watching this episode of Creative Shadows. Next week, I'll be discussing how I wrote the song about my Grandpa Mitchell through the years. Thanks for watching. In 3, 2, 1. We're here today with my friend Kyle Tredell. Kyle and I have been playing in bands 25 years.
Yep.
Written a Just correct me out the way you said that. Yep. Well, shut up. Let's get this over with.
And this is how it usually went on stage. Play the song already! I didn't pay $2 for this.
He used to sit up right in front of me. I mean, right? I'd be looking at the back, I'm like, oh, scoot over.
Because everybody wants to see the drummer. Correct?
Well, I at least wanted to see me.
They didn't want to see me either. I exist.
Okay.
All right.
Don't start about Suburban Cowboy, okay?
Oh, yeah.
We had a song called Suburban Cowboy. I said, hey, let's name the band that. I've never lived that down.
What was the name of the band?
Suburban. Oh, we eventually changed it to Signature 3. There was 3 of us. And I kind of like, well, Signature Sound, Signature 3. So anyway, we started out Suburban Cowboy. And
Against my opinion.
And was it against your opinion?
Yeah. I was
We were a vote. How did I win the vote? There's 3 of us.
You convinced Nick, I guess.
Oh, Nick was on my side?
Against one.
And Nick is probably like, yeah, it's okay. He's like, okay.
Whatever.
Nick always liked me best.
Yeah.
So we have our first gig. It was down at El Griff's. Suburban Cowboy at El Griff's. And a bunch of people showed up in cowboy hats. And there's Kyle doing his little good bluesy riffs. And I'm rocking the drums. And they're like, where's the country music?
It was like the Blues Brothers, like in real, like we should have had chicken wire. My brother always laughs to this day when I tell him that story. He always says, I just imagine chicken wire in front of you and people throwing bottles. I'm like, it was about that. It was about like that. It's close.
We're the Good Old Boys Blues Brothers band.
Yeah, that was us.